Hello again. I started talking about bearings in the last video, but I didn't get to finish. So I'm going to continue that right now. So, bearings. And I said that the quadrants you learn about in high school geometry class change uh, when you're surveying. In high school, this is your first quadrant, second, third, fourth. So it's going around to the left. It's going left. Now it's first, second, third, fourth. So it's going to the right, right? Surveyors measure to the right. Okay, so and I defined a bearing as saying, I said, a bearing, right, try to write small up here. A bearing is a direction with respect to north or south that is no greater than 90 degrees. I said up to 90. That's kind of confusing. It's no greater than 90. It's an angle no greater than 90 degrees with respect to north or south. And this is obviously east, and this is west. So I'm just going to give an example. I'm going to say at the origin out to here is a line I'm saying is point 1 to point 2. And this angle here is 45 degrees. So in a bearing, this angle is south 45 degrees east. South 45 degrees towards east. So you always start off with south, or you always start off with north, and you always end in east, or you end in west. Okay, so you never start with east, or you never start with west. Okay, and then I'll draw another line going from 1 to, I'll say this is 3. This is 3. This angle is 45 degrees. So that bearing, this is from 1 to 2. From 1 to 3 is south 45 degrees west. And if I had a line going out here, oops, going this way, from 1 to 4, say, 1 to 4, and it's still 45 degrees, making it easy. That would be a bearing of north 45 degrees west. And the same thing is if I did from here. Well, I'm just leave it like that. It's the same thing. If I drew a line 1 to say 5, and it's 45 degrees off north, it would be a bearing of north 45 east. Right, so these go up to 90 degrees. If line 1 and 3 started going into here, so say this is 1 to 3 now. 1 to 3 is here. Then this would change from southwest to northwest, right? You'd start measuring off this way now, because it can be no greater. If I measured off south, it would be greater than 90 degrees, right? It would cross into the north, into quadrant 4, and bearings can't do that. So it would be then measured off the northern axis towards the west. So, but you can convert. You can convert to from bearings to azimuths and azimuths to bearings, and this is done all the time. So this bearing, so this bearing here, south 45 east, right? Let's convert that to an azimuth. So we have south 45 degrees east. So what an azimuth, remember, azimuth is a direction with respect to north. And we're saying no, north is assumed still, assumed straight up. Okay. So to align the azimuth from 1 to 2, remember our bearing from 1 to 2 was south 45 east. So remember, as I just said, an azimuth with respect to north, so it would be from north, from 1 to 2 going this way, from 1 to 2. What would that be? How could we compute this angle? Right? What's this angle? It's the azimuth from 1 to 2 is equal to 180 degrees minus 45 degrees. Right? 180 minus 45. 135 degrees. This angle is equal to 135 degrees. So these can be converted all the time. And you use, if you're in quadrant 1, your bearing or your azimuth is equal to your bearing. Quadrant 2, which we just did, your azimuth is equal to 180 minus your bearing. Quadrant 3, azimuth is equal to 180 plus your bearing. Right, quadrant 3, we have this angle here. It would be off of north, we would want this angle. So what is that? That's 180 plus 45, right? Okay, and we already said that was 225. Okay, and then quadrant 4, we have this bearing of north, 45 west. So what would that be? Quadrant 4, the azimuth is equal to 360 minus your bearing that's in the fourth quadrant. So these are used in surveying all the time. This is good to remember, because you'll be converting bearings to azimuths and azimuths to bearings all the time. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that for now. I'm almost out of time, and I will see you in the next video.